Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. That is the 13th video of the Learning and Evolving from Past Practitioners series, a video series aiming to introduce important historical figures in the internal style of martial arts and Shoudao practice. In today's video, I will introduce Hong Junsheng, another great Tai Chi master, and also an important disciple of Chen Fa'ke. Before going forward, I'd like to answer some questions asked by community members about last week's video, which was about Feng Zhiqiang, a 10th generation Chen Style Tai Chi master. RY comments, quote, Grandmaster Feng was the 18th generation of the Chen Style Tai Chi Chuan and the disciple of Chen Fa'ke, who was the 17th generation inheritor of the Chen Style Tai Chi Chuan. End quote. Thank you for your comment. In your comment, you said Feng was the 18th generation of the Chen Style Tai Chi, as Chen Fa'ke, or Feng's teacher, was the 17th generation inheritor of the Chen Style Tai Chi. Actually, it is a very common mistake, not only in the West, but in China as well. Let me explain. Chen Fa'ke was the 17th generation of the Chen family, but the 9th generation of Chen Style Tai Chi. The first 8 generations of the Chen family did not practice Tai Chi. Chen Wangting, the 9th generation of the Chen family, created Chen Style Tai Chi and thus became the first generation of Chen Style Tai Chi. So, a Chen family member's generation number is different from their generation number in Chen Style Tai Chi. Therefore, Chen Fa'ke, the 17th generation Chen family member, was the 9th generation of Chen Style Tai Chi. As for Feng Zhiqiang, he was the disciple of the 9th generation of Chen Style Tai Chi master, Chen Fa'ke. So, Feng was the 10th generation of Chen Style Tai Chi. Since Feng Zhiqiang was not a Chen family member, it is just wrong for Chen to be titled as the 18th generation of the Chen family. Again, this is a very common mistake since it is a bit confusing to most people. From now on, I hope people in the West will not call Chen Fa'ke as 17th generation Chen Style Tai Chi, but the 9th generation of Chen Style Tai Chi. By the same token, Feng Zhiqiang is the 10th generation of Chen Style Tai Chi. Next question. Outlast asks, quote, I have a question. Is learning combined style as good as learning the individual styles that are combined? For example, learning Feng Zhiqiang's Hunyuan Tai Chi versus learning Chen Style Tai Chi and Xinyi Liu He. End quote. It is not necessary to learn both Tai Chi and Xinyi Liu He at the same time. Feng added Xinyi Liu He into his Tai Chi, but his style is still Tai Chi. Furthermore, he already integrated both styles, so you should trust Feng's style instead of working on the integration by yourself. It is a very interesting question. I hope my answer helps. Thank you for asking. Now, let's talk about Hong Junsheng. Hong Junsheng is important in Chen style history because his practice has become a new style based on his teacher's teaching. Hong Junsheng was born in 1907 in Jun County, Henan Province. His name, Junsheng, literally means born in Jun County. His grandfather had once served as an official in the Qing dynasty court, and from a young age, Hong lived and studied in Beijing with his father. Hong passed away in 1996 in Shandong province. Hong was weak and frequently ill as a child, and at the age of 17, he had to leave school due to illness. In 1930, he began learning Wu Style Tai Chi from Liu Mu San, a top disciple of Wu Jianquan, the great master of Wu Style Tai Chi. Later, Liu and over 30 of his students, including Hong, switched to studying Chen Style Tai Chi under the renowned master Chen Fa'ke. From that point on, Hong became Chen Fa'ke's disciple. Practicing Tai Chi greatly improved Hong's health, which in turn fueled his enthusiasm for the art. In 1944, Hong left Chen Fa'ke to take up a job in Shandong province. In 1956, he returned to Beijing for 4 months to consult with Chen Fa'ke about forms and puchans, reporting his own experiences and understandings of Tai Chi. During this period, Hong studied under Chen Fa'ke for about total of 15 years. Hong's pursuit of martial excellence did not stop at merely inheriting what had been passed down. Through years of deep reflection on the techniques taught by Chen Fa'ke and interaction with masters from various martial art schools, he realized that while the original Chen style system was sophisticated, detailed, and balanced in both softness and hardness, it still lacked slightly in terms of practical applicability. He wanted to integrate the skills passed down by his teacher and his own insights into the forms, aiming to create a more direct path for learners to master the martial essence of Tai Chi. With Chen Fa'ke's permission, Hong began to deeply study, refine, and innovate upon the original Chen style routines. He also conducted extensive theoretical research and practical experimentation. After decades of effort, he completed a system based on the principle: practice the way you apply and apply the way you practice, or 怎么用就怎么练，怎么练就怎么用. Eventually, establishing his own theoretical and martial system, and becoming a great master in his own right. He proposed the concept of the 6 practices. First, listen more, to understand the theories and techniques as explained by the teacher. Second, watch more, to closely observe the teacher's demonstrations. Third, reflect more, to clearly imprint in the mind the forms, details, and even the teacher's demeanor. Fourth, practice more, repeated practice of the forms. Fifth, revise more, frequently ask the teacher to correct and refine one's postures. And sixth, experiment more, apply techniques in practice to verify and master them. This is also a way to test and validate the underlying principles and method. Hong Junsheng's Tai Chi is known for its extreme refinement, with unique method in body mechanics and footwork, particularly in weight shifting and power releasing. His approach represents a significant development of Chen Style Tai Chi. Importantly, every movement he created was practiced and tested with his students to ensure practical purpose. This innovative approach marked a successful modernization of traditional Chen Style Tai Chi. As a result, although the sequences and the names of the forms he taught remained the same as those of Chen Fa'ke's first and second routines, the technical details had significantly evolved. This was an innovative reinterpretation. Now, I'd like to briefly explain how the name of Hong Junsheng's system came to be. I've long been fascinated by the history and technical details of various Tai Chi styles, and I have studied the stories and the technical framework of the Hong lineage in depth. A close family friend of mine, Mr. Li Zhujun from Shandong, is one of the key promoters of Hong Junsheng's Tai Chi system. Through his introductions, I also visited some of the top masters of Hong Style Tai Chi, such as Mr. He Shugan. Initially, the system created by Hong Junsheng was referred to as the Hong branch of Chen Style Tai Chi, meaning Chen Style Tai Chi as passed down by Hong Junsheng. Later, it came to be known as Hong Style Tai Chi. I personally asked Mr. He Shugan about this change, as he was the most senior student of Hong Junsheng, also one of the key figures in spreading Hong Junsheng's Tai Chi. He explained, translated quote, "The name Hong Style Tai Chi had already circulated among practitioners during and around the time when Master Hong was teaching the practical form. However, it was never officially confirmed and thus had never appeared in print. In recent years, we've become accustomed to calling this set of routines Hong Style Tai Chi to distinguish it from the traditional Chen style forms. That's why my student Li Zhujun used this term in an article he published in a martial arts magazine," and translated the quote. He continued, translated quote, "There is the basis for using this name. First, the training method of Hong's practical approach differ greatly from the traditional Chen style framework and possess distinctive features. Second, Hong made creative theoretical contributions to Tai Chi. Third, the term had already been widely used by practitioners. And fourth, in the year before his death, Hong Junsheng wrote a calligraphy scroll reading Hong Style Tai Chi. In 1987, while preparing his book manuscript, some senior students suggested the title Hong Style Tai Chi. Hong said, "I do not agree with calling it Hong Style Tai Chi. What I have inherited is Chen Style Tai Chi. Although the way of training and the moves have changed, and I have absorbed the method from other systems, they are all based on Chen style principles and modified for practical application, with Chen Fa'ke's approval. As long as I am alive, it should not be called Hong Style Tai Chi. After I'm gone, you can call it whatever you want. That's beyond my control." So, the final book title was dedicated as Chen Style Tai Chi Practical Method, with the subtitle suggested by Hong Junsheng's fellow students Li Enjiu. The essence of martial application taught by 17th generation Grandmaster Chen Fa'ke in his later years, which Master Hong agreed to. His attitude was clear. While he was alive, the style should not be called Hong Style Tai Chi. After his passing, the name would be left to his disciples. After Hong Junsheng passed away, several of our school's teachers began promoting it under the name Hong Style Tai Chi, with Li Zhujun being one of the earliest to publicly use this name. End translated quote. These words were said by He Shugan to me in person more than 2 decades ago, and this is the book. I vividly remember that when my friend Li Zhujun first used this name, Hong Style Tai Chi, many within the Tai Chi community were opposed to it. I strongly supported him at the time, and our shared stance on this matter became a foundation for our lasting friendship. Overseas, since Hong Junsheng's book is titled Chen Style Tai Chi Practical Method, many people refer to it simply as a practical method. However, this term is not commonly used in China. After all the martial arts, including Tai Chi, emphasize practicality. If Hong Junsheng's Tai Chi is called the practical method, does that imply that other Tai Chi styles are impractical? In fact, what Hong meant by practical was train the way you use and use the way you train, and not at all that only his method was practical. This misunderstanding arises from differences in naming conventions and interpretation. In Chinese martial arts literature, naming methods vary widely. For example, many works use titles like Complete Book of Form and Application or 体用全书 to emphasize both training and application, similar in spirit to the term practical method. Therefore, it's important not to misunderstand the term practical method, as there is the difference between the marketing term and its reality. Personally, I prefer to refer to the system as Hong Style Tai Chi, as it more accurately reflects the system's unique place within the broader world of Tai Chi. I believe Hong Junsheng's name has great significance in Chen Style Tai Chi and the broader Tai Chi development. I highly respect his approach. Now, let's watch a clip of Hong Junsheng's demonstration. Now, a small clip of Hong Junsheng's push hand. So that was Hong Junsheng. That brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you all found today's topic interesting and informative. Please post your questions about Hong Junsheng, his practice, or his lineage in the comment section. I will answer them for you in the first part of next week's video. Thanks for watching. See you next time and enjoy your practice.